Hello, my name is Jessie and today we're making an Asian-inspired stuffed peppers. And these are the ingredients that you would need for this dish. Screenshot it or it's also listed below. Alright, let's start with the stuffing. I have the oven preheated to 375 degrees. In this 1 pound of pork, I'm gonna finely chop about 4 ounces of mushroom. So I'm just gonna really finely chop all of these, including the stems, because these are adding texture and moisture into our stuffing. Before I continue, I wanted to soak these glass noodles. In the traditional stuffed bell pepper, we would put rice in it, but I personally don't like rice and I love putting these glass noodles in. The texture is better. So I'm just gonna add everything into this bowl. And our aromatics today is 1 shallot. But if you don't have shallot, you can use 1/4 of a red onion. That would do. So I'm just, again, finely chopping it. I'm gonna add this in the bowl. So that's 1 shallot. And now garlic. Here I have 4 cloves. And this is a very different stuffed bell pepper than your traditional one. This is like almost like a fusion one. Just a different way of using ground meat and, you know, a different way of stuff your bell peppers. And then I go to the grocery store and I saw these beautiful peppers and I decided to use the long ones that are just a traditional bell pepper, but you could use regular bell pepper. I also have these extra long green onion from our garden. I'm gonna chop it up for garnish and some coloring. So the white part of the onion, I'm gonna put it in here for it to cook, but the greener one, the softer part, would be for garnish. Okay, so I'm gonna put this little corner here for garnish later because you know me, we gotta dress it up all the time. And this little dill, it's totally optional, but I like the flavor of dill and pork, so I'm putting it in here and saving a little bit for, you know what, dress it up. Do you guys get the hint yet? Alright, so this about 1 teaspoon of dill. I would finely chop it. And if you don't like the flavor of it, just skip it. Alright, so we're gonna add all this in here. And now that I'm done cutting up all the vegetables, I will cut the meat because I didn't want to contaminate my cutting board. So I have 2 Italian sausages here. I like to mix it with my regular ground pork. And in this recipe, I'm using ground pork, but you could use ground chicken, ground beef if you want. For the sausages, I'm just removing the casing so we can use it to add different flavor of meat into our stuffing. Half a teaspoon of salt and some pepper. And also about 1 teaspoon of red pepper flakes. Okay, I'm gonna mix it together. This stuffing may look very different than your traditional stuffing. There's no tomato sauce in here, but trust me, once you make it, your family will keep requesting for more. Now the interesting part that you don't see a lot is the glass noodles. We soak it just so it's bendable like this, but it's not completely at the ready to eat stage. We want to put it in here so it will absorb any extra liquid so our stuffing won't be soggy. I'm cutting it in like about 1 inch just so that it would be easier to manage in the stuffing. Oh, I have a double yolks. That's so cool. I had a feeling because the egg was so big. That is so cool. The egg white goes in here. I'm saving the egg yolk for later. So this is 2 yolks. 3. So 4 egg yolks being saved. And we use the egg white in here. Okay. Cornstarch is another thing that you can put in your stuffing to keep it moist, juicy, and not soggy. And we're just gonna mix it very well. All right. We don't want to overwork this because we still want to taste the meat texture instead of just a paste. Just work it until it's completely incorporate with each other. So now we're gonna stuff our peppers. I cannot wait for you guys to try this and leave me a comment to tell me how it is. Okay, so now we have them all ready. I'm gonna try to remove all the white part. Clean out as much as possible so you have more room for your stuffing. So this mixture can yield at least 6 bell peppers. I'm just doing 3 on cameras today because you guys don't need to watch me stuff 6 bell peppers, but I would be doing 3 off camera for our lunch tomorrow. Dinner we only need 3. I'm gonna be baking it in this big dish. I'm using a scoop just so it's easier on me, but you don't have to. You can just put a spoon or use your finger. I usually like to use the scoop. The meat does tend to shrink a tiny bit once it's cooked, so I like to really overstuff it. And you know what? It could be like a really good freezer meal. You just pre-stuffed all this and you already have everything out and freeze it. And whenever you're ready, take it out and just bake it. Alright, so we have all 6 pieces in here. So I'm gonna make the gravy or the sauce for the bell pepper. In here I have half a cup of chicken broth. This is my homemade chicken broth, so it's, you see the jiggling, that's the collagen. 1 teaspoon of agave. If you don't have agave or do not want to use it, you can replace it with sugar or honey. And 1 tablespoon of soy sauce. I'm just gonna mix it together. So I'm gonna use only a 1/4 cup of this, which is 4 tablespoons. Half of this. It doesn't have to be precise. I'm gonna put it not on the bell pepper, but on the bottom of the baking dish, just so it won't burn while we cook. 3, 4, and I'm just gonna add 2 tablespoons of just water. I don't want to put too much of the broth and soy sauce in here because I don't want it to burn. We're just gonna move it back and forth like this. Now we're gonna wrap it and put it in the oven. I usually cook it for about 20 to 25 minutes, depends on the size of the bell pepper. By the 20-minute mark, I'm going to remove the foil and check the temperature. And then we go from there. Okay, into the oven at 375 degrees. So let's take it out. It's been 25 minutes. At the 20-minute mark, I wasn't cooked at all, so I add in another 5 minutes, so 25 minutes. And I think it's good. Because earlier it was like 112 already. So remember the egg yolks that I saved earlier? Now we're gonna work on it. So this is 4 egg yolks. I'm gonna add 2 tablespoons of water in here and a dash of soy sauce. Literally just a little bit, like a few drops, just for coloring. Wow. Let me check the temperature. This one is the biggest one. Oh, perfect. 160, 165, 174. Okay, they're all done. You know how the traditional stuffed bell peppers would have cheese on it? I'm actually gonna top this with the egg yolks. You just pour it over. So we're gonna uncover it and put it in the oven for another 5 minutes. So while the pepper was in the oven, I made egg salad, and all of these lettuce, and I mean all of them, are from my garden. I'm so excited. I didn't kill them. Can you guys see how juicy this is? And I really like this recipe because it's not too thick, so we don't have to cook it for so long and the pepper become all soggy. There's still a crunch to the pepper, and that's what I want. I do not like soggy bell peppers. Oh, looks so good. Now we're gonna dress it up with some green onion and dill. Wow, look at this, guys. Isn't it gorgeous? Now it's your turn to make it at home.
Okay guys, if you like this video, hit that subscribe button and come back next week for our weekly updates. See you then!